We're different here. We don't just get up for another day. We rise. We don't just work. We endeavor. We're women and men for and with others. We have hope, we believe, and we celebrate. Why are we different?
So we can be the difference.
Welcome back, everybody, to EGFC for the last game of the night, last game of the fall split. You know, it's me, Keela Miles, and Soy, wrapping us up with another late night Hawaii game, but not late night for them. Marquette and Hawaii, they're up and at 'em, ready for some great Smash Brothers action. And, well, getting the button checks out of the way as we speak. Both these teams, I mean, this ought to be a fun one, Soy. I really think it will be.
Yeah, these are two teams that are right next to each other in the standings. Hawaii has one of the best tiebreaker statistics at 3-4, and Marquette, they are 4-3 on the season. They are riding the high off of their win last week. They got the upset against Colorado right before Thanksgiving in that very closely contested matchup. So this has all the makings of a barn burner right here. This is gonna be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, I mean, University of Hawaii, they've got a honestly, very consistent roster. I would say Hawaii is maybe... Okay, I can't say this in good conscience knowing some of the top tier teams, because if you're top tier, you're just consistent. Good players are just consistent. That's the way Smash Brothers is. But Hawaii in general, for being a middle-of-the-pack team, is most consistent right there. They hold the line. They are the gatekeeper. Literally, like, they were the gatekeepers to get into playoffs last year, and they held the wall. And now they're looking to make it even farther this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And at 3-4, I mean, you got to remember their schedule this split has been particularly tough. They're in that Central Conference that has a lot of the high caliber teams. You got to go through Mississippi State, DePaul. Marquette has been on the rise. Colorado is in this division. Even Wichita State has had their moments this season. So it has been a grind for the Rainbow Warriors, and they are one game away from even. That's a pretty good spot to be. And meanwhile, on the flip side, you look at Marquette. This is a team that kind of disappeared last season in the midst of all the dark horses in the playoff race. Marquette was just outside that bubble. But this season, the players that they have found have just stepped up in such a huge way. I mean, Kawas, the Pokemon trainer, Spencer, returning player for Marquette, has been phenomenal this season. Even Chico, rocking the DK, has been, I think, the most successful DK we've seen in the EGF.
Yeah, but who is this going to be starting off? That's going to be, I think, yeah, Spencer and Darth Wampa. Darth Wampa, one of the upset players we've seen, got a win over Katsuji at one point, but they haven't been able to replicate that success in recent years. People are ready for them now. We'll see if Spencer is too, or if Darth Wampa can start bringing it back.
And Spencer, again, one of the veterans of this roster. So far, 4-1 on the season. Had that clutch win against Katsuji in their matchup against Colorado. So starting off with the proverbial heavy hitter here. And so far, things relatively even, but Darth Wampa able to get out of disadvantage there.
Oh, but that's a heavy hit. Now, forward smash, one of the most powerful in the game. So being caught on an air dodge in, that's gotta hurt. And it's a hard read, too. Trying to read, speaking of, a low recovery right there, but Darth Wampa seeing that, not gonna give it to them. Spencer, wishing there had been a little charity. Come on, it's the giving season. But Darth Wampa not giving up any room, any stage control, just taking it away step by step from Spencer until the Nair sends them off.
Ooh, the spacing. Love that from Darth Wampa. Recognizing, hey, Spencer's going to go for that down smash, use the yo-yo to his advantage, but the sword on that up B just clipping him. It will not matter, though. Darth Wampa will eventually lose his stock, but that little bit of extra percent could be big here.
Yeah, as you can see, Darth Wampa... I love how Lynx love to play around that forward smash projectile, and it's a good projectile, but it's not even that good, but it's so unexpected that it becomes super expected when everyone goes for it. Darth Wampa loves it. Doesn't connect it this time, though. Instead, though, just throwing the boomerangs out, trying to contest the platforms. Underneath, they're being poked by a little sparkler. Is that it? Yeah, missing that tech. That's going to be brutal. 2 stocks to 1 right now. Spencer taking the lead.
Huge turnaround there from Spencer, too, because Darth Wampa had a lot of momentum, but Darth Wampa has found a couple of these really heavy hits. Those forward smashes have done a lot of work, but this is a big opportunity. Gets the footstool. He doesn't get the bounce.
That's going to be rough. Swinging back and forth in such an unfortunate way, it's always going to end up hurting you. As now Spencer playing around this platform, gets the falling fair, though. No tech chase. They still keep Darth Wampa in disadvantage, though. The Nair on shield is safe for the time being, but you get clipped by the up air, and that's so much damage, but reversal comes right down with the sparkly stomp. Spencer applying so much pressure to the shield, and now Darth Wampa's off stage. An opportunity right here, but they go for it all on the down smash, but then Darth Wampa answers right back with an up smash, just as easily punished, and the burst option of the forward air is enough to finish them off. Spencer gives an early lead to Marquette University.
Really smart stuff to Spencer there to close that one out. He realizes, hey, I've got him, above stage, off stage. There's really not many places for him to go when you're, floating around in that area. So
yeah,
Spencer just smartly got last strong hit of forward air to clean up game number 1.
Yeah, very well said, Soy. You're saying, there's so much space that's occupied, and the lingering hitboxes of Ness. You don't think of Ness as a burst movement character, but he really is at times with the way his jump gives him really good He can delay his options with PK Magnet or Psy Magnet, landing, starting combos. Honestly, I think one of Ness's best characteristics is the angles at which he attacks. The diagonals, pulling you up with him or pulling you down, depending on how he's coming in. Those diagonals are covered so hard, and then he can also cover low with the smash attacks, the yo-yo, doing a lot of work. Not in that match, but just in general.
Yeah, just really smart play by Spencer in that first game. And, there was some stuff, though, from Darth Wampa that looked really good. For example, those up tilts, I think, did a lot of work, because of the way Spencer wanted to approach. So I think I'm looking for more of that here in game number 2. And also, the use of these projectiles from Darth Wampa were really kind of mitigated. Outside of a few boomerangs, we didn't see, a bomb or an arrow land. So got to be careful and cautious with the use of it, but certainly looking to see how he uses it here in game number 2.
Ooh, had a good game there for a moment, but it's a reverse. And Spencer saving their double jump is going to be right back to stage. They wanted that detonation so bad as well. Darth Wampa not going to give it to them, but after they gave up that stock like that, I don't feel like... Well, Spencer minds too much. Excellent play right there. Your stock is never over just because the numbers are in the red.
Yeah, no, that was really good. And a good quick answer, too, from Darth Wampa. You lose your stock so quickly. To find that up B to take the stock was really a good, I feel like he needed that one for the momentum of this set. And now things, again, back to even. And in disadvantage doesn't get the connection there. So Darth Wampa a little bit of an opening here.
The fact that Darth Wampa was able to land through all that is honestly very impressive. And land and get the shield here, wacky. That's all I can say. As their roll-in is covered by, again, these lingering hitboxes. My word. I can talk about why that's so impressive later, but Link's Nair was just defeated by the yo-yo. It clanked for a while, but eventually it could not hold out, and because of that, Spencer holds the lead.
Yeah, that was a huge stock for Spencer to take, too. And now Spencer got to play very carefully here at 100%. That up B too quick on the trigger of it, so Darth Wampa going to eat a lot of percent here. And everything now that Spencer gets is just gold. And that dash attack actually will take the stock surprisingly strong. And we're down to the last stock scenario once again.
Little jabs, little pokes, as Spencer tries to find their way in through the defense. They get a bomb to the face for their troubles. Another one. Darth Wampa has completely evened up the percents. And it feels like Spencer was fishing a little bit. Like that PK Thunder, where was the idea? Now they've got their heads screwed on right, though. Getting aggressive with the PK fires once again. They've evened out the percents. The jab at ledge to send them down. Popping Darth Wampa back up, saying, I'm not done with you yet. But neither is Darth Wampa coming down with the spike. Swings out of batter as they send the bomb swinging back, but now the forward air sends you off. The long-range snipe isn't going to be enough. Ness, such a good air dodge. That jab, is that it? Right at ledge? There's no surviving that. With the rage, with the percent, Darth Wampa, they're out of here. And Spencer gets a clean 2-0 in the first set.
And another great performance here from Spencer. I mean, this was very highly contested between the two of them. I mean, numerous times it was trade after trade after trade, hit for hit, really. And even when you saw, even that first stock for Darth Wampa, he had such control. He got, I think 100 and some percent onto Spencer before falling prey to that down air. It just felt like there was an answer for every action, but in the end, it was Spencer, that defensive play, just a little bit stronger, and finds a way to hold on. I wonder there in that specific scenario on that last stock, if, going for something like, the up B that was, able to take a stock beforehand, or instead of just, being a little timid with the jabs instead, if going for something a little bit harder or going for a grab would have worked better. But in the end of the day, Spencer able to capitalize off of it.
Yeah, and very nice indeed. Again, one thing I do just want to highlight again, it's such a tiny detail, but we've got time. Do you know, Soy, what one of the best anti-projectile tools in the entire game is? It's not the shield, it's Link's neutral air. Take a look at this thing right here. Take a look at this. That lingering hitbox will trade with literally everything. You can just nair towards characters with projectiles, and you'll just clank with it, and you'll be fine. Did you see, though, when the Link landed on the lingering hitbox of the yo-yo? They literally clanked with it throughout the entirety of their move. Like, all of that red thing, they just kept clanking with every hitbox that the yo-yo threw out. They froze in the air as the hit stun held them in place. But Ness held true, held the line, and eventually the nair was finished and the yo-yo won out, and they got a stock for it. That's such a tiny interaction, but it's the first time I've ever seen it happen, so I had to highlight it.
Yeah, and it goes to show really how close this match was too, because we saw Darth Wampa had, adapted to it in the past, right? Because Spencer, we knew he was going to go for something like that. The yo-yo to cover the ledge is a Ness classic, right? But we saw Darth Wampa use the up B to try and drift around the yo-yo. He wasn't afraid to try and, stall out that hitbox with the nair in that interaction. So it just goes to show, the adaptation by these two players. It was really punch for punch. It was just one small mistake, one, a little bit of timidness on the side of Darth Wampa that ended up being the downfall of Hawaii in set number 1.
And I don't even think timidness was even entirely accurate. I think bravery on the side of Spencer. Blanking for a second. The fact that they were down so far on that first stock, and at 40%, they risked it all to go for the down air off stage and finished off Darth Wampa's stock. That was the turnaround moment for me. That was the momentum swing. Darth Wampa was a brick wall in front of them, holding the line. I keep bringing it up because this was a game of defense and breaking the defense. And one time, Spencer slipped through, and they got the spike, and everything was different, Soy. Everything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you even think back to game number 1 where Spencer, his up B, I think he got footstooled and the up B doesn't even get back to ledge. So they both had those moments where they were able to take those early stocks. It was really, like you said, a defensive wall on both sides that Spencer just found a few more cracks in and was able to get that win.
Now we're going to have Chico coming out the DK. Leader of the bunch, taking on Gray, the Pokemon trainer who, well, will definitely give you a reason to be feared.
Yeah, these are two players that have been very good this season. Chico 3-4 on this Donkey Kong, but against Gray, this is going to be a tough matchup for him. He's going to really have to make sure he gets as much mileage as he can out of these openings. And Gray has been so good this season, 4-2 on the year. And oh my goodness, look at Chico go.
The whiff punish. Oh, and I saw Gray land there and I was terrified, but they knew their spacing. They had faith in their projectile. The spot up bait right there. Gray doesn't fall for it, but they don't do anything either. So Chico is like, okay, I guess I will act first. Keeping it even right now, but DK trying to find a way in against Ivysaur is going to be tough. Going for the grab, understanding that a throw cargo could be it, but they can get the spike. So that's not a tech chase you want, but run it back, I guess. Only once, shame on you. But if you're not going to do anything, I'll fool you twice. Finishing them off with the Flame Breath, but Chico keeping it even thus far. Gray. Now, the up throw again. Guaranteed damage 42%.
Yeah, Chico doing a really good job of... the game plan here for Gray is that Squirtle is this small body, should be able to rack up damage like you're seeing here. But Chico... the damage goes both ways with these characters, and on a character like Squirtle, it's so much more dangerous.
Oh, you see that little walk back, Soy, too? Oh, that was some nice micro-spacing to just barely avoid the grab. But nice reversal situation from Chico. They're going all the way out. That's not worth it at all. I think Chico thought they could make it back, but unfortunately they can't, and now they're stuck trying to find... it's a very high percent Ivysaur, but not as high as you would have wanted.
That interaction was so tragic for Chico because I think he wanted the hitbox outward to try and steal away the up B that would have snapped him to ledge, but he kept that drift too far away, and so he couldn't make it back to stage himself, and the hitbox didn't work, but he will be able to steal away that second stock. So Chico now very high percent in disadvantage. This is dangerous. The down air, that's gonna be it. Gray seals it away with a solid 1 stock.
People talk about characters with exploitable recoveries, Soy. Very exploitable recoveries. That was maybe one of the best demonstrations of why the recovery is so exploitable. You use the water gun to send him way out, way off the side of the stage. And then you just wait. You wait with one of the biggest, safest spike hitboxes in the game. Like your duck hunt, waiting for the ducks to fly out. And you just wait, and then there it is. You line it up, you shoot. I don't think they had the spacing right too. I don't even think Chico had an opportunity to tech.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well done to Gray. And that's what makes this matchup so difficult, right? Because DK is a character that can be exploited through his recovery, through his big body. That's why Chico has to make every opening count. When he gets those combos on Squirtle at the early percent, he has to get the guaranteed 40. He has to land those back airs at the end of the combo in order to keep things close, because once Ivysaur gets on the field, once Charizard gets on the field, there's so much more danger in that specific playstyle. And it's not that Squirtle isn't dangerous in his own right, but that's where he has his best kind of neutral openings.
Yeah, 100%. As we're getting into it now, interesting. Going for the K rule instead. Gives you an answer to Ivysaur. Not a great answer, but an answer at the very least. And I think the recovery might be a little bit less exploitable, but it still is exploitable. And I think Gray definitely wants that. Chico, I feel like going for the mind games a little bit there, but the throw armor will get you through the crown, and now it's just the Gray show all day.
Yeah, and that's going to be... That's what makes this in particular matchup so interesting, because now Squirtle, I think, has an easier time with the combos. It's a lot harder for K. Rool to really track down the Squirtle, but you know, now you get a better matchup in neutral against this Ivysaur that's going to spend a lot more time on stage.
Out right there, 100%. A read-off stage right here is death as the Charizard comes out, and that delay is just enough to save them from the spike. Chico not getting the opportunity with the forward air will still do some work. Recently buffed, but no chance to use it right there. As you missed your spike, I'm not going to miss mine. Gray gets the lead.
Charizard down air too, landing that spike, so very well done to Gray, and Chico's got to play very carefully here. He's eating a lot of percent here in neutral, just trying to find a way to break through. That, I'm shocked that forward smash hit, but the pressure's still on here. That's about 122% straight. That forward air will get the first stock off of Gray, but the standstill, the stare down from the Charizard.
No answer whatsoever. They go over to the Ivysaur in the end. They're able to grab right here. Off stage and the finisher. The Rage Spike. Now Chico has a horse in this race. And they're going all the way to try and finish Ivysaur. Finish what they started. Wipe out the jungle as they get another back air. Oh, this could be difficult. It could be tense as the double spike. How many spikes have we seen this game? You never seen this many. There's been at least 4.
So aggressive between these two. They both want this one so badly. They know every single stock matters in a match that's going to be this close. And look at the up airs. Look at all the percentage evening things back up.
Yeah, and right there. See the up air coming out the back there as well. Gray maintaining the control of the neutral that they feel they should have. But a nice delay on the recovery right there, using the armor as well to avoid the up air. Now trying to snap the ledge, but you can't get too predictable. Even though it's a little bit difficult, even though you have the backpack to protect you, is still a linear line. And because of that, you will be, I assume you saw that freeze frame. That was my face when I saw the spike come out. That was what it was.
That's understandable. That's understandable.
I tapped in and I saw that and I'm like, whoops. But either way, magnificent stuff from Gray, making that comeback even after you got cheesed down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that is a tie game, and deservedly so. I mean, I think Chico knew coming into this match that it was going to be tough, right? Because you've got 2 big bodies going up against a Pokemon trader that's got all of these options. He knew he was kind of fighting an uphill battle. So for him to mitigate, the amount of points to just the bare minimum of 4, it's about as good as you can do, is about as much as you can ask. But that really emphasizes how big that spike for K. Rool was, right? Because he got that stock so early, and then Gray was able to find an answer and, battle back. But every single stock in this matchup in this format matters. And so for him to take that early stock, I think that's a huge momentum swing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, personally, it does my heart good. When you say, just edgeguard the people with exploitable recoveries, just do it. It's a lot easier said than done. But Gray did it. Like, just look. DK's coming up here. Literally, it is a direct linear line. There's almost no drift DK can do. All you need to do is be in position. Guaranteed kill. But I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. What if it's K-Rool? You know, K-Rool can delay the recovery. K-Rool can make sure you don't know what's coming. It's the same thing. That's why these characters are low-ish tier. Linear lines. That's why Fox is considered so easily edge-guardable as well. I mean, the thing about Fox, it's still a linear line. When your recovery is that linear and it's not a tether that you can't delay it, all you need to do is learn the timing. Doesn't matter how fast or slow it is. If you know when you see the startup where they're going to be exactly, you can put a big, round, sun-shaped hitbox in their way. And there's not really anything they can do about it because, as I said, linear is bad. Take economics.
I mean, well, let's also give credit where credit's due here for Chico, right? Because there were some opportunities in that game to turn things around. You know, you talk about the K-Rool spike already, but there was also, you know, if you flash back to game number 1, he almost gimps Gray on the tether recovery using DK up B, and that could have completely turned the momentum of that game because that's a full stock swing the other way. You know, that's a full stock swing in Hawaii's favor when it could have been Marquette's, and that's another, you know, huge point off the board for the side of the Golden Eagles. So it really comes down to, I think, you know, there's, like we said, this is a very highly contested matchup, but those in-game adaptations, how quickly you can make them and how quickly you can catch on to your opponent, that's a huge aspect going forward.
Yeah, 100%. I can't remember what player said it, but I don't like to use the word cheese that much, but because a player said it, I'm quoting them. It's not my words. It is important to know how to cheese a stock away from your opponent when you're down. If they are out-neutraling you, and you are down a stock, and you are high in percent, you need to know how to kill them at 30. You need to know how to kill them at 20. You need to know how to gimp them at 10. Because if you can do that, all of your mistakes are undone. Sure, they are high-risk, highly unoptimal plays. If any character had a guaranteed way to kill you at 30 that was so consistent, that's all anyone would ever play. But you need to know it, even if it's unoptimal, even if it is cheesy and you don't want to be stealing stocks like that. Making your opponent die early is the entire point of playing a platform fighter. And Chico demonstrated that. Good for Chico, but ultimately, all the momentum swings like that in the world are not enough to truly save you from that matchup when Gray is at the pilot seat.
Yeah, no, Gray, I mean, you know, we gave credit to Chico, but Gray is the one who won this set, and Gray has done a fantastic job so far. I mean, Hawaii overall as a team, you know, the players on this roster have really stepped up in a big way, and Gray, I think, has kind of been the headstrong force of that because he's the one with the experience. He's the guy who last year had to go up against some of the hierarchy of the EGF. He had to play a lot of the captains of the MAC teams and things like that. So he's used to these pressure cooker situations, and he came out clutch in that second set.
Ooh. This is an interesting counter pick. It is not the first time we've seen it. Tiny? Have we seen Tiny yet? I actually don't know. But either way, going for a Pokemon battle on Pokemon Stadium. And right away straight to the Ivysaur. That's crucial right there. I think Puff is so bad against Ivysaur, and you can see why. How are you approaching with the platform and the Razor Leaves in the way?
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. We have seen Tiny a couple of times this year. He's 0-3 on the season, but he's done a good job of mitigating a lot of points for the opponents that he's played against. And Fruit Basket is another PT for the side of Hawaii who's had some strong showings. But what a clip on the Nair there to seal away that stock.
Very, very nice indeed. Tiny, get some good pressure right now. That is one thing Puff can do that most can't. Contest tether recoveries. If you're able to stay at ledge and keep them off there, get it used to the patterns, Fruit Basket can die shockingly early.
Fruit Basket, I think right now is trying to just kind of figure out how to pressure in this Ivysaur matchup, because right now Tiny doing a good job of weaving in and out.
Ooh. Able to get nice forward air right there. I don't mind the switch to Charizard. I mean, I feel like these running F-tilts, up smashes out of shield, they are so vital for getting that early stock. Though this isn't even early, it's 97 on Puff. That's like 150 on anyone else.
Yeah, that's gonna be an up smash from Charizard. So first stock off the board of Tiny, but the damage has been done. Tiny's done a good job of just slowly chipping away at Fruit Basket.
Yeah. Now. Ooh. Look at this coverage right here. Every single time Fruit Basket tries to get off the ledge, Tiny is there. But Ivysaur, I mean, don't get grabbed. Don't. You see that shield at ledge? Don't get grabbed. Back throw, back air. That's the beast special right there. As I think they're out of the range now at this point, but still, Charizard can just kill you. And as you can see, the huge hitboxes are actually where Fruit Basket is excelling. Ivysaur, I think, does do well for actually killing Puff with setups into up air and down air to just finish her off. But in this neutral, as long as you're able to avoid getting down aired, which you're not going to get comboed at this percent anyway, this Charizard is the pick with how much range tail gives you.
I was just about to say, if you're Tiny, you're looking at how do I find a way to get a kill on this heavy body. I can't find a strong hitbox anywhere. He finally gets the strong hit of back air, and even that is not enough. And Fruit Basket stalling out long enough to make it back to center stage 2. Fruit Basket playing this so well at such a high percent.
Ooh, Puff taken down. It's 175. And now you know it's getting to Tiny's head. They just want to jump in and get that strong hit. Jump in and get that arrow. Spamming up tilt. That's a kill move. Nair. The shield is getting so low, but Fruit Basket refuses to die as they keep living on. Finally contest that recovery, but they don't even get the strong enough hit. The super armor saves them 204% soy.
I mean, what do you gotta do to find a way to get a kill here if you're Tiny? Finally finds a way to take that stock, gets a strong hitbox, but now he's got a full stock to deal with. This could be big, though.
Ooh. Now, I like the Ivysaur in the neutral. Playing around this platform, it is so difficult for Tiny to do anything. And now you've chased them into the corner as well, taken away center stage, made them uncomfortable. Over 100%. Remember when Tiny was in the lead? Me neither. As now we're back over to the Charizard to hopefully find a finisher.
So many strong hitboxes on this Charizard, but that was a huge pound.
You gotta remember, the rest is always on the table. With Rage, it's getting close to it. TikTok rest? No! They're not able to get the back hitbox that they wanted. Now you're running out of confirms. Up air's not going to confirm. Down air's going to confirm. Where are you going to find this rest? Because that is your win condition right now. You don't just want to out neutral them.
Back airs and forward tilts from Charizard 2 are just so quick. Tiny has to play so carefully around his spacing.
Oh. And that is going to be the finisher right there. Fruit Basket clawing their way back into that. The composure that a player like them is afforded, known for. It's very important right there, and I'm quite impressed, to be honest. Ooh, flickering just a little bit, but either way, good stuff by Fruit Basket, but Tiny definitely had room to make something work there.
Yeah, and that was just, what a trek, what a marathon for Fruit Basket, just in game number 1 alone, right? There was a ton of momentum shifts in that first couple minutes of action, but as that game started to slow down, Fruit Basket found his way back into that match, and I really do think, like you said, the neutral interactions, Charizard and Ivysaur just have so many options. And Charizard in particular did so much work that set. I commented right at the end, the forward tilts and back airs, their kill moves on a light character like Puff, they'll work very, very well. And for the most part, Tiny did such a good job of avoiding them, but you can only stall out so many hits in this game for so long, and I feel like that's kind of what Tiny fell prey to in game number 1.
Yeah, it was that unkillable Charizard. Because Charizard has so many moves that you can't really contest. You can't just attack their shield because you're going to get up smashed. You can't really poke at them for too long because if they get a read on your movement, they do a running F-tilt. The anti-airs, the aerials, everything was just a recipe for disaster if Jigglypuff got too close. And I feel like Tiny, it got to their head a little bit. 210% Soy. 210%. Wow.
I mean, we're talking about a Charizard, which is a heavy, but still, I mean, for any character, 200% is just ridiculous for any character to be surviving that long. And for Puff too, you know, that's a character that should be able to find some stray hits, but against that Charizard, it just looked so difficult.
Yeah, run back in the same matchup as well, not switching anything up here. As yeah, I mean, I don't hate the Final Destination pick. You saw how Ivysaur was able to use those platforms against Jigglypuff so well. Taking away your platform sync setups, I don't think is a terrible thing at all. Just, you want a way in. You want to be able to combo this character. 47% already, and you're able to keep Ivysaur at ledge. Ivysaur, great in the neutral, not as good burst options once Jigglypuff is on top of him.
Tiny push to the corner here, but is able to find a way out. Does land in there. Good forward air. Wants another one, but Fruit Basket quickly jumping and snapping back to ledge.
I saw Jigglypuff hovering underneath Ivysaur and my heart stopped. But, able to hit the forward air right here. Tries to punish a landing or hanging on ledge, but Fruit Basket, what percent was that at Soy? It felt like they teleported off the screen. And even though you're able to even up with the forward smash, oh my.
Yeah, I'm in shock, but that's actually something that I think we've seen time and time again from Fruit Basket. They are not afraid to pull the trigger on those early up Bs if they see that hitbox opportunity.
Right now, Basket doing a monumental job. Ivysaur is also, again, I think I've talked about it before, down air rest is the easiest to hit on characters that look like Puff. Little round orbs around midweight are the easiest characters in the game to hit down air rest on. So as soon as they cross that 50% threshold, you know Tiny's going for that. And Charizard, ironically, kind of hard to do it on. You see, delaying the recovery right there. They're able to snap to ledge, just barely. Perfect spacing on that air dodge.
Good opening here, good damage.
Oh,
no! The flare one's connected!
People always want to challenge it. It's a bad move, you just hit it. It's scary, it's terrifying. You've got to be ready to contest it. Put a good height right there to get Fruit Basket back to stage with almost no lag.
And even if Tiny wanted to punish it, he couldn't. Just Fruit Basket, the second he landed, threw out the turnaround F-tilt and stuffed out any really approach from Tiny. So now Tiny's just got a mountain to climb, it feels like.
As now, Tiny has Charizard off stage, but the thing about it is Charizard has that invincibility and will also just kill you if you try and contest it. Do you see how that back air almost killed with max rage at 40%? Charizard's a crazy character, and Fruit Basket in the pilot seat is even more terrifying because they know how to use every tool. Tiny started off swinging, but now they would need a miracle to bring this back. Clutchbox, where you at?
Another forward air, and oh boy, Tiny's just running out of options. It feels like he's wearing a borrowed time.
Max Rage back air. That's all you need. And all the perfect spacing in the world. All the aerial footsies won't save you in the end. Tiny taken down, and University of Hawaii taking the lead. And honestly, I admire Tiny for how well they did in that matchup. I think PT is incredibly hard. Tiny was doing a great job mitigating Jigglypuff's weaknesses, but I don't think it was even a character matchup. I don't think, oh, Tiny's a better player, they're just playing a worse character. In the end, it was Fruit Basket winning the mental battle again and again and again.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think back to, it's so easy to tunnel vision in this game. You just want to hit your opponent. You just see someone at a high percent and think, okay, I can take this stock. I just need one opening. I'll force it to happen. I'll make it happen. And that's not the way this matchup is. This matchup in particular is just picking and choosing your timings. And I think really Fruit Basket, the way he was able to control the matchup, it would have been so easy for him to, pull the trigger on something, go at the Jigglypuff, try and find a way in. But that would have worked against him here. Those quick options from Charizard, the forward tilt, the back air, those strong, threatening hitboxes, they just do so much work, and you have to be patient with them. And that's exactly what Fruit Basket was able to do.
And the other thing Fruit Basket was doing that is kind of hard to notice, and I only know it because I used to be a Puff player, Ivysaur is almost impossible to edge guard because of the possibility of reversals. Let me explain. Ivysaur has a tether recovery, will snap instantly to the ledge. If you go out there, you are going to be ledge trapped by Ivysaur. If you miss, you need to be perfect with your recovery. So a lot of Jigglypuffs will not go for it because if you get reversaled, you're almost guaranteed to die. Would you like to see why? This is Ivysaur's down air. Look at that. This is Jigglypuff's ledge grab hitbox. When Jigglypuff grabs ledge, this is what you can hit. This is taken from FrameData.com. Just look at the overlap. Come on, Ivysaur. Come on.
That's actually incredible.
Oh, it fills up the entire hitbox. And of course, it's only a couple frames, but Jigglypuff is still vulnerable for so long, so you cannot go off stage against this character. That's why at mid percents, they were sticking to that for so long, Soy. They wanted that. Ivysaur, you can't really get edge guarded. You can't really get cheese. Once you get to higher percents, go to Charizard so you live longer. Pokemon Trainer is such a good character because no matter the situation, you have an answer to it. And Fruit Basket used their tools to demonstrate that expertly, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And Tiny, you could tell he was searching for answers, right? He was searching for so long to try and find a window of opportunity. He even tried to edge guard the Charizard once and ended up eating a Flare Blitz for it. The one time he really went off stage against Ivysaur, like you said, you were holding your breath for it because it was so dangerous for him to go out there. And even towards the latter part of that game, when it was, when PT was able to get back to ledge, you could tell he was searching for a two-frame throughout the down smashes, throughout the jabs at ledge. He was looking for any kind of opening to seal away that stock, and just nothing was coming to fruition for him.
Nothing at all. Nothing. So as now we look towards the future, Marquette down not a substantial amount, but Hawaii, like I said, they are the most consistent team in keeping it close. They make it close with everyone. It's rare that Hawaii gets an outright stomp, unless it's against a team who is not ready for them, like, say, Iona, that we saw earlier, was not ready for Hawaii. Marquette, I feel like they are ready, but other teams have kept it close and failed. We'll see if Marquette can pull something out here, as it's going to be Dwyzar, the Yoshi.
Yeah, Dwyzar has been fantastic so far. I mean, arguably one of the best additions to this Marquette roster. 4-2 on the season. Big wins over Connor Sanders of Mississippi State. Won last week against Colorado. So he has been a huge impact player for Marquette. And remember, this is set number 4. If Marquette win this by any number of points, even the minimum amount of points, and if they don't give up anything, they win this set. So Dwyer, this is the best potential spot for him to be in. And if you're Hawaii, or sorry, no, I've got the teams flipped. I have him on Hawaii for whatever reason. My apologies, but no, this is the perfect spot for him to be in, to give Marquette a chance to battle back here against Hawaii. Heavy hitter for heavy hitter. What is Hawaii's answer?
I mean, you've used up, not to say the rest of Hawaii is not good, but Gray, I feel like Gray and Fruit Basket are the highlights of this team. The Pokemon trainers are dominant. We'll have to see how they fare now. I mean, that's not to say they got some nasty clouds up their sleeve. They got all sorts of stuff. I cannot quite remember how Not Christian has done in the past. But, I mean, University of Hawaii, they've got a great coach, and they are always on that grind.
And on top of that, too, you look at this matchup in particular. This is an awkward one because of, I feel like Dwyer has some kill power on a light character like Game & Watch, but it's just such an awkward movement to get in on it.
Okay, right here, right now, the landing back air. Playing this very cautiously. Just using your out of shield options. I mean, Nair out of shield versus Uppy out of shield. Two of the best ones in the game, but Game & Watch obviously taking the cake right there. But not really able to get any follow-ups off of that Uppy out of shield, and that's crucial. Because that's a lot of percent that Game & Watch isn't getting for free.
Both, I think, are playing at least somewhat timid, kind of knowing the stakes that are on the line here in this matchup. And Not Christian finding himself kind of pushed to the wall a handful of times here early.
No overextensions from Dwyer, really. I mean, sure, maybe they commit to some dashes they don't want to, because dashes does lock you out of some movement options. But in the end, Not Christian is really just outspacing them. And there are the kill confirms. Yoshi, some amazing kill confirms right there. If you get caught by a forward tilt or an up tilt, you better be spamming that up B. Spamming that air dodge, because otherwise you're out of there. I think up B is honestly way better because it leaves you actionable. But still, is that Yoshi without a jump up there? All right, that's why you get some damage.
That's twice now. Dwyer has kind of pulled the trigger on that down B. And it has not worked out quite yet, but that seems to be the kind of burst option to try and break through neutral.
Ooh, dropping shit a little too early on that back air. Dwyer now trying to fish for the kill. Not something Yoshi usually struggles with, but Game & Watch can make it especially difficult. Tech chase situation on the platform, though, you're not missing those. The up air will send Game & Watch straight off the top.
Really smart by Dwyer there on that up air, right? The second he realizes it's a tech situation, just covers, or gets over there in time to cover just about any way he's going to go.
Cool. Nice chair right there to finish him off. Not too much extra credit, not too much mileage. Dwyer delays their aerial just a little bit, and Game & Watch is going to put out one of their own in the meantime. Staying above Yoshi is a dangerous thing indeed, but Game & Watch can feel pretty comfortable with it, relatively speaking anyways.
Good juggles by Not Christian. These uppers are doing so much, and the Nair on top of it.
Look at this. No jump. They're finally able to get back to stage, but that was almost 90%. Oh my gosh, and the forward smash. This is how we win. Yoshi without a jump. And again, this is what I love to see. You talk about a character's weaknesses, Joy, but a lot of people don't really exploit them like they should. just edge guard the heavies. Just keep Yoshi in the air after you lose the double jump. It's not something a lot of people do. That is what Hawaii is doing.
It's the mark of not only a good player but a good team, because just every player on this roster has been able to find their openings and find and exploit those few openings, and that's a good up smash to tie things back up stockwise. But like you said, Dweizer's got to play so careful. He's got to hold it. He's stuck in the corner here. That was dangerous.
To be honest, it's been a while since I saw Yoshi. I thought it was an egg roll. As right now, you're actually successfully punishing that up smash. Very nice. Using that disjointed tail to your advantage. Trying to set up with a drag down, but not Christian refusing to give up mileage. Sure, they'll dash back for a second, but never too long.
Christian doing a good job of playing defensive here, just throwing out a lot of hitboxes, the up Bs, the down smashes. It's so scary. Oh my goodness. Oh!
Unlocking an early kill right there on Dweizar. And that is the high risk of going in on Game & Watch. Game & Watch is not a tremendously hard character to kill. And I'm making that as a broad statement. Let me finish. The issue is, if you mess up, if you miss space, if you miss time by a pixel, by a second, by a frame, you will get punished so hard. That is why most people choose not to punish these punishable options. Like, you will see, like, you'll go into some character discords and they'll be like, actually, Game & Watch down air is actually kind of punishable. All you need to do is blah, 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 blah. But if you mess up, you're dead. Sayonara, goodbye. That's what we saw from Dweizar, and that is what makes them such a threat. Not Christian, really showing how it's done.
Yeah, and Not Christian's Game & Watch in particular has been really good. I'm 2-1 so far this season, but again, the times that he has come in, he has either mitigated a lot of points or gotten the W for his team. So he has just been a force to be reckoned with for the Rainbow Warriors. And on the other side, like you said, Dweizar, he's just got to play so carefully, because those 1 or 2 mistakes that he makes, he can't afford those. He eats so much percent for it. He could lose his stock for it. I mean, the juggles, like you said, Yoshi without a jump, he just ate what, 80%, I think, on the second stock for it. It's incredible, the punish game right now from Not Christian.
Yeah, it has been truly remarkable. I love the neutral at first from Dweizar, and I still do love it. Dweizar is finding a lot of mileage, but they're not really able to get in. I think one of the most telltale signs is that they're trying to do these like dashback egg lays, and they're hitting air. I don't think they've hit an egg lay since like the first 10 seconds. It's just so tough when, well, Not Christian is safe, secure, they are happy, they are carefree all the time. And if you try and contest that, sure, you might get some trades, you might get some combos, but never too much.
And the pressure is on Dweizar to make a play happen, because it is Marquette who is down. He has to find a way to win the next 2 games to give his team a chance in this set. And oh my, the forwarder, that's going to do it!
Jump read. I mean, gathering data right there. That's what you learned from last time. Game & Watch doesn't worry about his recovery too much, and that can be exploited. I think that's a return to what we saw. Remember they missed that forward air and died for it? Redemption, Soy. Redemption.
And a huge early stock for him to take, too, because he was only at 30-ish when that stock happened. That up smash not going to take the stock quite yet, though. Dweizar surviving.
And right here, just getting a few stray hits, but no bury. Dweizar holds on for the time being, going for a tech chase. They have Not Christian off the stage, but no 2-frame for them. Still keep them in disadvantage, though. They go down to challenge the key, but that low, it's not going to kill. Eglay gets even more damage, 84% on this Game & Watch. They are playing on borrowed time, and they are not paying their interest.
Got 95 on a Not Christian, though. doing a very good job of finding openings, and another up B connects. That's the stock too. The up smash connects.
Very nice nair, puts them at disadvantage. 3 stocks to 1, still doable for Game & Watch. You don't want to drop this, and you got to remember the points you're playing for too. If you're able to finish this, you're able to make a winnable game for Marquette.
163 though, like you said, it feels like he's working on borrowed time. Gets the spike hitbox of the down air, so first stock off the board of Dwyzar.
When's the last time you've seen that, Soy? I know it's been a while for me. There's the grab into up air, some guaranteed damage, very nice stuff. Nothing too flashy. Just outspace, outplay, outthink. That is Dwyzar's plan. But they end up going right into the bomb, and that gives Not Christian an opening in center stage. Following them up, but they're not quite able to pass that nair. This is damage building up, Soy. Would this be a comeback? If that buried, it might have been.
Oh, he's playing with fire. I thought that was going to be an up smash, but it's an up smash the other way. Dwyzar with a 2 stock, and we're going to game number 3.
Yep. Dwyzar getting the 2 stock, 2 points. Not too shabby in the slightest, and it was a little optimistic to hope for a 3 stock anyway. Listen though, University of Hawaii, like I said, they bring it down to the wire every time. Will it happen again? Or will they get this win here and now and more or less, I mean, you still have to worry, but not worry. That's your goal. You want to set your team up for success. Win early, don't give them an opportunity to bring it back.
Yeah, if you do the math here, it's if Not Christian gets a 2 stock or more, the best Marquette could do is tie. That's essentially what you're looking at here in game number 3. You get the 2-point bonus for winning the set, and however many stocks you have remaining. If Hawaii gets anything above 14 points, then this game is over and done, and Hawaii will have secured the victory. And that's the pressure that's on Not Christian's shoulders at this very moment. And for Dwyzar, you're just trying to give your team a chance here. You're just trying to keep things close, keep things even. And if you get the win in this set, you give your team the opportunity to pull back and put it all on set number 5. But if you don't, then it's going to take a near perfect set 5 for Marquette to come back. So a lot on the line here in game number 3.
Yeah, 100%. And a lot of thought going into this counter pick too. I don't feel like I could have my mind changed as soon as I see what comes out, but I don't feel like Game & Watch has any stage they win. Yeah, they're just gentlemen and back to PS2. Why not? I mean, you want to keep it even? You're banking mostly on the neutral. In the beginning, it was Not Christian who was outspacing Dwyzar, making sure their dashbacks hit nothing but air. Now, it was the slight overshoots that were really giving Dwyzar the edge. It's time for the next phase of evolution. Here on Pokemon Stadium, we'll see who gets it first.
There's that neutral B that we saw. You know, Dwyzar really couldn't hit one in game number 1, but like you said, his spacing has improved, and he's starting to land them now, and that's a lot of percent that he can get out of those.
Ooh, nice little egg right there. It doesn't do damage, but it stalls them in the air. Tries to space the down air correctly, ends up hitting nothing but air and getting hit by the uppy out of shield. Unfortunate, but either way, now you're able to get dash attack, keeping Not Christian juggled, but never pushing too far ahead. You see that? Just letting them throw out the back air and then immediately throwing it down. Spot dodge, going to be parried. There it is, the down B punished. And now Dwyzar is in the back foot. 65% already.
Those up Bs are starting to land now more and more. And even if they're not landing, they're certainly threatening a lot of space for Not Christian. He's got to be very weary of those.
Yes. Dash? They're trying a quick attack in the center, and eventually Dwyzar is like, okay, I guess I'll go cover jump, and then they just hit them anyway and killed them. Good for Dwyzar. Still confused, but good for Dwyzar. Oh, and there's the spacing they were looking for. They do the down air on shield, and they're still able to drift far enough away that the up B doesn't hit them.
Those back airs, too. The spacing on those has just really been good, but that's going to be the stock answered right back. Gets the berry into the forward smash, so not Christian. Evening things back up in the stock department.
Ooh. Very nice indeed. Goes for a very aggressive nair, but not Christian, still at a deficit, but they're pushing in. They're taking territory, but they're not able to hold it for long before they're forced off the other side of the stage instead. An aggressive forward air right there, but it's not going to connect, as now the up air does some nice damage, but it's not enough to really keep things going for the time being. Back air going to be punished as well.
It feels like not Christian. A lot of the damage that he's gotten, especially throughout this set, is either through those up Bs or the juggles, but the juggles have really disappeared. Dwyzar doing a good job of not leaving himself susceptible.
Yeah, when's the last time you saw Dwyzar get caught without a jump and held in the air for, what, 15 seconds straight? Not this time. Not the Christian. Unable to find it. As I say it, it almost happened again. But Dwyzar, tricky with the fastballs, is able to get through. Now they have Game & Watch ledge trap, go for an aggressive forward smash. Not going to connect. But either way, you still instill the fear. But you actually see Dwyzar not going for the punishes on those smash attacks anymore either. Or they do, and they go right into it.
And not Christian has started to adapt to these neutral Bs as well. He's actually landing those counters and reflecting them. And that's kind of making Dwyzar, think a little bit more, because now he's got to worry about one extra projectile.
And right here, right now, that back air just chipping into Dwyzar. The back air is going to finish them off right there from Dwyzar. Not Christian at this point holds the lead, but we saw how quickly Dwyzar could stack a percent. Yoshi does have some good low percent combos on Game & Watch, but the buffered up B will actually help you escape that time. Oh, the down air connects all the way. That was over 30%.
Answered quickly right back, though, but the percents have evened back up. This is dangerously close here.
Every time they go for that bucket, but that time the reflect is punished in the up smash. It's going to be enough that time. Dwyzar brings it back in a big way, and Yoshi brings it home for Marquette. Now, going into what I believe is our 5th game, we're going to have an even one.
Yeah, I mean, the points say it all. It's a 1-point game, which means whoever wins this set wins it all, and that is going to be huge for both of these teams. But really well done. Dwyzar there. I'm actually surprised the up smash came out. It felt like kind of out of nowhere, opportunistic, but it was able to connect, and that was just very well done again by both players. It felt again like a kind of a slower paced matchup because they both did a very good job of playing defensively and utilizing a lot of their tools, and the adaptations came through on both sides. First, Dwyzar was using those up Bs to recover back to stage. Then you saw Not Christian using that down B as a reflector to, make Dwyzar think a little bit more. But at the end of the day, Dwyzar I feel like the raw kill power really came in clutch.
I definitely agree, Soy. The amount of times they found the way in, it was so good. And they made him scared. It was a game of adaptation. And it felt like they had a Band-Aid on it. They were slowly finding ways through. They were spacing their back airs better. They were altering the timings on their up smashes to make it so much harder to punish. And of course, they were using the bucket at ledge to send the egg right back. But reflecting something does actually put you in a decent bit of lag, Soy. And, well, if there's one thing Yoshi can do, it is the aerial rushdown. Fastest aerial acceleration, or rather speed in the game. So as soon as they saw that Reflect Lag come out, they went above the egg, got the punish, put them in a disadvantage, and what does Game & Watch do? He down aired. Game & Watch down airs in disadvantage. He wants the reversal. He wants the kill. It's how he won game 1. Dwyer was having none of that, though. None of it whatsoever.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And even, we talk about in-game adaptations. How about the adaptation on the neutral B and the down air, right? Because that was so much just easy damage for Dwyer to get onto Not Christian. And game 1, that was completely off the table. The neutral Bs weren't there. The spacing wasn't there. The down air almost never got landed. Dwyer was able to, like you said, adapt and overcome. And Not Christian, he had some adaptations as well, but sometimes you just get, like you said, a little bit too tunnel vision-y on how to play. It seems, when Game & Watch is in disadvantage, they're going to want that downer. They're going to want those reversals. And it feels like the right thing to do. But Dwyer calling it out with that up smash was huge.
Knowing what your opponent wants, I think, is one of the most important things. I mean, it is the thing. If you know what they want, you can predict where they're going to be. If you can predict where they're going to be, why are you playing this? Could be a chess grandmaster or something. But either way, yeah, it's a complicated thing. Everyone wants different things at different times for different reasons. But when you've seen someone's habits over and over again, you're in position to call it out when it matters most. That's how Dwyer got the lead. And now Marquette and University of Hawaii have one last set of champions to battle it out. It's going to be Volt, the Cloud, who has been a menace for many a player, taking on, I believe, Kwaz. No, Kwaz.
Yeah, this is bound to be a fun one, and it's going to be interesting to see because Volt is this Cloud that has been a monster for the side of Hawaii, and Kwaz for the side of Marquette is a Pokemon trainer that's kind of been on the rise, 4-3 so far this season, and so Volt has that, Pokemon trainer experience. He's got 2 members on his team who are very proficient at this character, but Kwaz plays a little bit differently than those 2, so I'm curious to see how he, adapts to this set. And also, I want to say, I think one of the strengths of Volt is that the longer a set goes, the more read heavy he becomes. The longer a set goes, it feels like he starts to catch on to more and more defensive options. So if you're Kwaz, I feel like this is, game 1 is very important, and game 2, if you don't clutch it out, it's going to be a very, very dangerous game number 3.
So now it looks like, we're just getting things all settled down. The band's all getting ready. You know the drill. I have to assume Kwaz is going to be playing the Cloud. Or not the Cloud, the Pokemon trainer. That's what we saw them on last time, and it was amazing. So giving Hawaii a taste of their own medicine. I think that's what Kwaz plays, right?
Yeah, Pokemon trainer. Yeah. He was the Pokemon trainer. I think from what I remember of his set against Colorado, he was actually pretty proficient in Squirtle and Ivysaur specifically. I don't think we saw a ton of Charizard from what I remember of his set against Colorado. But like we said, I think Volt's got Pokemon trainer experience. But the question is, Cloud, I think again, you kind of have an exploitable recovery at times, but Cloud can also beat up on a lot of these characters. It's going to be a very interesting match.
One thing I kind of want to see called out, if I'm being honest, is use the water gun. Everyone thinks Mario is the one with the flood, but Squirtle's got it too. But Squirtle's never use it. But we saw earlier this set an amazing destruction of a recovery of Donkey Kong thanks to the water gun setups. Cloud gets destroyed just as hard by it. Now, Cloud does actually have kind of it's not a good recovery, but it's harder to challenge than a lot of people give it credit for. I feel like the lack of commitment, though, that Water Gun provides And remember, Kwaz is also very proficient on the Squirtle. So if you're going to be on the Squirtle anyway, might as well just, you know.
I'm very intrigued. I mean, this feels like a very, very even matchup between the two. And also, I think if for Volt in particular, I feel like the stage is really going to make a huge difference because, actually, I don't think it is because, I mean, there are certain stages that might benefit, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's about playing comfortably and playing, you know, within, you know, your, I don't know what, I can't think of a term all of a sudden, but you know, if you are forced to play uncomfortably, you get into those panic situations, right? You get into those kind of defensive options, and you know, you just go for what feels right, what feels like the bread and butter. And for Volt, I feel like we've never seen him put in an uncomfortable situation before. He always feels like he's in control of a match. Even when he's down, it feels like he's got a chance. It feels like he gives himself enough of a chance. So survivability, I think, gonna play a huge factor here, and the ability to see if you can take those stocks early or not, and see if you can put a lot of pressure on a player on some aspect of a game that they may not be as comfortable on.
Yeah, and right here, right now, well, so honestly, we've got a second. We haven't done it at all today. Might as well just take a second to recap where we've been, where we're coming from. Let's take a look at the schedule real quick. And, I mean, we started off. Well, we didn't start off with UConn. It's final season. We all get it. But Iona versus Seton Hall. That was a good one. We got to see a lot of showcase, but ultimately, Iona really had some nice pop-offs.
Yeah, Iona looked fantastic. I mean, Moat in particular with the 3-stock looked incredible. Yaliso had a strong showing. Kibbs, you know, looked very flashy as per usual. But Seton Hall showed a lot of potential. Jimbo getting a good big win, and Trey getting his first win of the season were good marks for the Pirates.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, oh, are we getting into it now? Looks like it. Gonna be exactly what we expected. No need to switch it up now. Kawas, the Pokemon trainer from Marquette, taking on Volt, the Cloud from out in the University of Hawaii.
Ooh, interesting kind of high recovery there. Volt not holding a shield long enough, so he will eat a little bit of percent, and Kawas will be able to make it back to stage.
Yeah, some nice pressure so far. A ladder taking them up. But Volt is able to get Limit online. That could be some nice damage, but a good jab lock puts Cloud in a very uncomfortable situation. 70% already. Looking for kind of a burst option now, trying to trap them into a cross slash, but they can't quite get a read on the Squirtle's movement.
That's 2 times he just used that side B, and yeah, Volt caught on. So now the switch comes to Ivysaur. And this is going to be an interesting part of the matchup because this is going to be where those side Bs are going to do a lot of work. How does Volt answer to that projectile?
Yes, Volt. You can see they're trying to stay low, stay grounded. They do an aerial and then immediately down tilt, immediately crouch, not looking to get hit as best they can. Scooping up Ivysaur and waiting out the transformation as well. Very nice. They actually have Kawas off stage, but they're able to make it back, trying to get the ledge trap with the cross slash, but it shield pokes in the end.
What a huge play from Volt. That was incredible. And the fact that it shield poked too, Kawas felt like he had the right play, just shield all of it, but unable to do so, and that gives Volt the lead.
Now Volt, I mean, Cloud facing the back airs can hold on to the lead. You saw the parry attempt right there, but it was a little too early. And now Limit's online too. Kawas, this stock is running away from them. As Volt slips away, a nice anti-air with that up B. It gets some nice damage. Maybe not exactly what they were looking for, but it still was more than nothing.
First stock off the board is good signs for KWAS, but Volt has already put up so much damage. 124. And so one strong stray hit should be able to take down this Charizard. That up smash will do it. So stock number 2 off the board of KWAS.
They get a nice little poke right there with the side B. And the cross slash as well. Volt tries to charge up a little forward smash right there, but even so, KWAS sticks it out for the time being. Even if this game runs away from you, if you're able to just get this stock, it still is so much more winnable for you, and you have Cloud off stage. Even with Limit, there was a chance there, but the spike doesn't set up for much. Good tech right there from Volt to not be caught in the devious trap. Now the ledge trapping, this is what we saw before, and the roll through doesn't do it. KWAS barely survives. One more chance at life right here. Maybe more with a Charizard.
109. That up smash not going to be able to do it quite yet. KWAS has to play very carefully because Cloud's going to get this limit break back. But no! The up smash stealing away the stock. And now KWAS on his last stock, 109. This is a dangerous spot to be in.
Alright. Able to get a nice little cross slash right there. And going for the forward air as well. KWAS finding the way in. They're turning this around. 55%. A good conversion at ledge right here could be it. And no cheeky stuff with Flare Blitz at all. That's a wasted cross slash as well. KWAS, a smash attack, a forward air, a back air at ledge. It'll all kill them. They need to be careful. Even dash attack will take them out now, which is why you see them going for it. But Volt can't get the strong hit they need. They're trying to charge up that cross slash, giving KWAS more chances. The back throw now, a chance to edge guard. But that's a flame breath, that's a commitment. Just roll away. You can feel the nerves tightening for these players. That shield's getting awful low though, and cowling out the jump. Volt survives, Volt thrives. They're still in this 106% at ledge against Charizard. It's the fourth throw. What a way for it to end, Soy. Just drag you across the ground and take you out the door. Marquette takes the lead, or ties it up rather, in this monumental set.
I mean, how hyped are you if you're KWAS right now? You started that stock at 109% against Volt, who has been, so strong this season just overall. And he's able to, hold on. What was he at? 180 something by the end of that? I think 185 was the percentage he was at when he got that forward throw. And the way, Cloud is so scary to approach too, especially with a character like Charizard, who's just such a big body. So really strong performance from KWAS to be able to bring that all back. But like we said, Volt is, I feel like, one of these players that as a set goes on, I feel like he starts to catch on to a lot more things. And he was off to an early start there. So we'll have to see how he does here in game number 2.
Term Battle of Wills gets thrown around a lot. That was KWAS's will manifested in how they would not die. I mean, that's also Charizard. Charizard's hard to contest and lives forever, but still, so good. And what is also good is the bread and butters. At this point, though, you're making French toast with how much bread and butter that is. 45% off of that. Very nice, very clean. And you saw them pause for a second. KWAS? Bye.
Kind of an odd, uncharacteristic SD from KWAS, but Volt will take it. Up a full stock now, and a lot of work to do on the side of Marquette here in game number 2. But Volt has looked very strong here. Aside from those early bread and butter combos, controlling stage well, not allowing KWAS back, this is exactly what Volt wants.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing where it's like, I refuse to call anything. I refuse to say how hard this is for KWAS. Because they just did it. They just did worse than that. And they're going to the Charizard right away as well to finish off the stock. I feel like that's a good idea.
The last hit of that Nair connecting, and He was still searching, pulled the trigger on the up B, and that was ill-advised. The cross slash taking the stock.
If you get a 3 stock right here, that means even with a 1 stock win, Kawas only puts him in a tiebreaker situation. You've got to get at least 1 stock here. You've got to put your faith in that last game. Again, clipped by the up B. Kawas maybe crumbling a little bit. As much as you kind of want to take this game as a data gathering game, you don't want to leave things up to chance, leave things up to a draw. Need to come in swinging. As they do get the up throw. Is that a kill? Not yet. Charizard against a cloud, swinging at the heavens, but they can't quite bring it home yet. This one's got to do it, though. Yeah, on top platform, perfectly spaced that time. Okay, winner of next game wins it all. Unless Kwaz does the unthinkable.
Got a little bit of damage there, but like you said, it feels like Kawas is kind of working on borrowed time, even though he's got a little bit of wiggle room here. This Squirtle not able to do as much as it has in the past, and that air dodge doesn't snap to the ledge, so a 2 stock here from Volt.
I mean, yeah, I think 2 stock is a good way to describe that. 2 stocks that they did not have. But either way, it all comes down to this. I don't think there's no way to tie. There's no way to tie at all. You either win or you lose right here if you're Marquette. This is stakes. This is determination. This is how you cap off the fall split of EGFC. 1 match. Points do not matter. All that matters is winning. That's the spirit of Smash Brothers right there. It might not be the spirit of EGF, but we try to, emulate a little bit. I could not tell you. After Kwaz did that, but then they fell apart, or were they falling apart? Was it just Volt cleaning up? It's impossible to tell right here. The only way to know for sure is what happens in this game 3.
And you know that in the minds of both of these players, that thread is hanging there of, all right, I know what's at stake. These are 2 teams that are in that playoff bubble, that playoff push that's going to be the story of next split. This is a tiebreaker type of match. 2 teams battling to stay, in the middle of the pack or above. It all comes down to this.
You don't know how hard I had to resist making a Shadow the Hedgehog reference as well. Chaos control a little bit as we look at that go. Not quite the same damage we saw before in one string, but they make it up in the next.
Very timid neutral, I think, so far. Just looking for that last hitbox of each move to really connect, and Limit coming offline for Volt didn't use it, so they'll have to recharge it here.
Kawas right now beating out these projectiles, but not really able to find the way in. 106%, a lot cleaner, a lot more disciplined play. And playing it exactly as Pokemon trainers should, up until they're getting juggled. Now this is where Volt has gotten their mileage thus far, trying to catch him out, trying to trip him up, but that is a very punishable option right there. Now you got Cloud off stage, the air dodge, that's not safe, and even though they're going to miss the 2-frame, that's some very nice damage.
That down smash nearly killing, and I like Kawas there, just using his jumps in the air dodge rather than flare blitzing. Doesn't want to eat any more percent.
At this point, the cross slash, good roll away at the end right there. They remember getting shield poked, and they're like, nah, I don't want to do that this time.
Very smart, and again, both of these players looking for their one opening. Is this an up throw? Is this the stock? No, surviving his Volt.
I talked about the battle of wills. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this. Both of these players refusing to die, even on their first stock, at any cost. Now KWAS, I guarantee you they're going to be holding on to this as long as they can, but Volt ain't going to make it easy. But with that tech chase right there, KWAS looking to build themselves a solid lead, 46%. What else can you do? 64, the back throw, and then they try and contest it again, but a very high recovery, but that time the up B is actually going to catch them. They do fall down into the blade beam, though. 85%, though. That ain't bad. That ain't bad in the slightest, Soy.
Not at all. Ooh, jab block. Follow-up doesn't opt for the forward smash, though. Just opts for a little bit of positioning and possibly an edge guard, but still. Oh, he pulled the trigger early. That's going to be a punish. This could be big. Oh, he wanted the spike.
Yes. Now, it's the forward throw as well. You almost get caught again, but you're seeing Volt is finding ways around this flame breath. Well, that's not safe on hit, not at that percent. There's the water gun that I talked about, but a good low recovery from Volt to save their life from that watery grave.
KWAS on the Squirtle. Volt at 158.
They're just spamming back airs, spacing them, not letting KWAS get anything while they are steadily, slowly taking back the space that they lost in that first stock. One good read with Max Rage at ledge right here. They're up a stock with Max Rage. And they catch the jump. That is brutal. KWAS right now, they had done so much work and it's all slipping away from them now. Is the University of Hawaii going to stop the upset? Or will Marquette find the way to Dragon Claw it back into their favor? The fourth, they're going to finish it. One more stock to decide it all.
I don't think we'd have it any other way between these two. They have been step for step with each other, but Volt with a big early lead here on this last stock. This Squirtle's getting caught out these ledge options. He's boxed out to this wall.
Setting up, though. Nair in a Nair, but not overextending. Waiting for the air dodge in, but they're not quite able to punish it. That limit, though, you know it's making them respect the ground game so much more. They don't want to get caught by the blade beam. And there it is. They get the straw hop over it. That's what got them last time. They're not going to be falling for it again. Dash tech, though, it forces them off stage. They can't risk being caught by that at ledge. Playing center stage, you want to extend your life as much as you can. 61%. KWAS is bringing this back. This is the clutch KWAS we saw in game one. Is it enough, though? Volt has gotten better, too. Volt has made it so much harder. And Dash tech almost killed at center stage. Now Limit is online. I don't know if even Charizard would survive, but they have to if Marquette wants to stay in this. Turning around at ledge, Volt doesn't want to let this slip away. Grab now, it's going to put you in an offstage situation. KWAS needs to get aggressive. They caught the air dodge, but they're not able to get the two frame. This is so maddening, Soy. These players are refusing to die.
152 on KWAS right now. Just any stray hit is so dangerous. Even a back air from Charizard could be the one opening that ends this all. The forwarder missed, and now the spacing of Volt is not there.
Limit is back online, but still though puts in a situation and it baits them in. Look at this. Getting back up to ledge, but they're caught hanging on the ledge. What a way for it to end. The tip of your claw hanging out. But what else exemplifies a panicked last stock situation like that? It's the last thing you're thinking about. The last thing it's on your mind. But the blade beam does hit. Volt maybe just a little bit more in control of their nerves, ready with that option before KWAS could react. And even though KWAS literally brought it down to the wire, literally has me waking my roommates up, this was the best way for it to end. University of Hawaii in the last match of the night of the fall 2021 season. Split is going to be your champion, 15-10.
What a nail biter it was between these two. I mean, step for step, punch for punch, but in the end, I think Volt, the adaptations were there, right? Volt had what felt like control through most of this set in particular. I mean, even you look back to game number one when he had the lead through most of that game and couldn't clutch it out. Game number two, KWAS had some mistakes, but you take those. And then in game number three, just the ability to control. There are so many more. I flash back to the Fruit Basket Tiny set, right, where Charizard just has all of these quick burst options like forward tilt and back air that are just too difficult for Puff to get through. And all of a sudden, it felt reversed onto Pokemon Trainer here. Cloud back air, Cloud dash attack, Cloud forward air. Just there's so many options that Volt had at his disposal, and it felt like, at the end of the day, Kawas just could not quite find the right option to get the full extension off of.
Yeah, 100%. Kawas, like I said, I keep bringing it up because I feel like it's the best way to describe it. The battle of wills. Neither of them wanted to lose. But no one ever wants to lose. But to truly want it, to truly fight for it, to truly make every single situation count, that was what we saw. But ultimately, Volt, a little more experienced, a little more cold-hearted, not like nerves of steel to be able to pull that off. Kawa is a little bit of a newer player. Maybe that could have shown in their shakiness, but can you even call it shakiness when they clutched out that game one, when they brought it that close? I think that was just Volt being one step ahead. And we are going to talk with an interview. It's going to be Volt. So we get to ask some amazing questions about that nail-biter of a set. So don't go anywhere. We're going to have the last interview of the fall split in just a couple of minutes.
Und wer wird denn gleich in die Luft gehen? Greife lieber zur HB, dann geht alles wie von selbst.
Welcome back, everybody, to EGFC for the last interview of the night, of the split even. Here with Volt after an amazing nail-biting win against Marquette. How you doing, Volt?
Still feeling the adrenaline, to be honest. That was definitely a nail-biter.
Yeah, and I've got to ask, how are you feeling when it looked like you had the lead, and then all of a sudden they just started to make the comeback, and like they were at kill percent, and then slowly but surely the percent started stacking up? What was happening in your mind?
It was just like the pressure was like building and building, right? Because beginning of that game 3, I started off fairly strong, and I felt like I had a confident lead, so I was like, okay, I'll just ride this out, I'll win the game, and that'll be that. And then he started like coming closer and closer and closer, and the pressure started building and building and building. I'm like, this is game 3, this decides the match. But you know, I just kept telling myself over and over, play patient, play patient, play patient, play patient, don't rush it, don't rush it. Literally like constant, and it ended up working, but it was definitely very stressful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you have probably had some experience going up against Pokemon trainers with, Fruit Basket and Gray on the team. So how was it, kind of shifting from playing against your two teammates to Kawas on Marquette?
Yeah, so about halfway through today's match, once we started seeing who was narrowed down, I realized that there was a pretty good chance that I could play against the PT, so I started playing with Gray, and he was giving me some tips and stuff, playing Pokemon Trainer. And the transition, Gray's practice definitely helped, but I was a little thrown off at first because Gray tended to use Squirtle more, whereas my opponent today used a lot more Ivysaur. So I was just having to mostly adjust to the Ivysaur compared to the Squirtle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do think that definitely showed. It took a second for like the confidence to kick in, but you definitely had that matchup confidence, and you also had the discipline, the nerves of steel. Is there anything in particular you do to maintain your focus in those high pressure situations? Because I feel like you're one of the more disciplined players in the league.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess part of it's experience. I've been playing competitively for about 7 years now. So I'm sort of used to the tournament high pressure environment. But also, I think it's just like I said, telling myself over and over on loop, like play patient, because the second I stop telling myself that, like I'm just gonna start mashing in front of my opponent and I'm gonna lose. So I really have to focus on like staying calm. I just like repeat that in my head over and over. Stay calm, stay calm, stay calm.
Hey, listen, whatever works, and it definitely worked to help get you that win. So again, congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this was kind of Hawaii's one of their first glimpses at the competition in their conference. You guys have had a tough go of it this split in particular, going up against teams like Colorado and so on and so forth. But coming up in this next split, you start off by going up against DePaul, who's been at the top of the EGF since they joined, Mississippi State, the defending champs, and then you get Marquette again. So you're going through kind of the Central Conference gauntlet. How do you guys feel about your chances in this conference?
Yeah, I mean, we've been through them, like we played them all this split, so now I think we have sort of a general idea of what we should want to be doing against each team. So I think next go around we'll be a lot more prepared to sort of figure out who's playing who, what sort of strategies we want to play. And just getting used to the online league in general, because obviously Wi-Fi is a whole different beast than offline. So I think we've had a good chance over this past split to sort of warm up to the Wi-Fi, warm up our players, and sort of get a feel for the leagues. So I think we're pretty confident going into the next split that hopefully it'll be better than this split for us.
Yeah, that's a hope you've got to have. And honestly, I wish you the best luck in getting ready for that split, and happy holidays too.
Yeah, happy holidays to you both as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And well, with that one last declaration of happy holidays, we are going to be wrapping up on official EGF tonight. So once again, thank you so much for your time, Bill. We will see you around.
All right, thank you both so much. Have a good one.
Yep. And as we close out tonight, we're just going to real quick do a quick rundown. You know the drill, because it is the end of the season. Or not the end of the season, end of the split anyways. And we have been with you here this whole time. And by we, I don't just mean myself and Soy. House of 3000 running the A stream and the B stream all day, every day. Some amazing stuff right there. Check them out. Zeno up in New York. They're running it. They're running pretty much everything in the Northeast. So check them out on Twitter. Additionally, Twitter right down below, at KiloMilesGG and at SoySunJSport. We're doing all sorts of content stuff in the college scene and maybe beyond too. Hey, stick around, go follow, and you'll find out. And of course, follow on official EGF. Check out their Twitch, their Twitter, their Instagram. They've probably got a TikTok here at some point. All sorts of stuff coming down the pipeline. It's going to be great. But for now, everyone, enjoy the holidays. We will see you in the spring. Take it easy until then.